Toy Story 5 will bring back some of the most beloved characters in the franchise, the main ones being Jessie, Buzz Lightyear, and Woody. But did you know that several completely new characters are also going to appear? Lilyad, the main villain of Toy Story 5, was one of the first things revealed about the movie. Her name will be Lilyad, and she will be a children's tablet that Bonnie receives, showing that modern technology is finally arriving in the very first franchise ever made by Pixar. And from what is known about Lilyad, she is going to be the biggest threat across all 5 movies that are part of the saga. She will represent the major technological evolution that has happened recently, in which screens started taking up more of children's time than toys. Nowadays, it's normal to see a little kid playing on a tablet or a phone instead of having fun with action figures. So of course, a new Toy Story movie would have to touch on this topic. Since Lilyad will take on the role of the antagonist, it's expected that the movie will try to show the negative side of children using electronic devices, especially screen addiction, which would cause Bonnie to stop playing with her toys and stop doing important things just to spend as much time as possible playing with Lilyad. However, that won't be the only reason why Lilyad will be the biggest threat to the toys. The real reason can actually be found in one of the movie's posters, where we see that she is recording the toys while they are moving, which means she will have proof that toys are alive and can reveal this to Bonnie, or to the entire world, whenever she wants. It's very likely that Lilyad will use this recording to blackmail Bonnie's toys, which will prove that she is truly evil and manipulative. And do you know what else Lilyad is? Just the first of the 10 new characters you didn't know about in Toy Story 5.
That's right, another Cinewave is coming for you to enjoy.
Multibuzz. Another new character, or rather new characters, that Pixar love talking about is the Multibuzz Army, which is a team made up of dozens of toys of the same model as Buzz Lightyear. What we already know about them shows that they will be hilarious and will be part of several very funny scenes. At some point in the movie, they will even crash on an island and end up getting lost. What makes this even better is that, from what is known, they will behave just like Buzz Lightyear in the first Toy Story, when he had absolutely no idea that he was a toy. Not to mention that they are described as defective. So will the defect simply be that they don't know they are toys? Or will it go much further with several different and funny defects? Based on how Pixar is using the Multibuzz Army to market the movie, it's clear that the producers of Toy Story 5 believe these characters will be some of the best characters in the film. They seem to be the kind of characters created to make everyone laugh and grab kids' attention. Smartpants. Luckily for all of us who are very curious and can't wait for the movie's release to find out what we can, other brand new toys were revealed through images that show the film won't be afraid to introduce several new characters. One of them will be called Smartpants, a toy shaped like a roll of toilet paper that will be used to help teach how to use the bathroom. A very strange toy, but also very useful for small children. Showing just how different one toy can be from another is exactly the kind of thing Toy Story movies love to do. There are cowboy dolls and astronauts, while at the same time there are dinosaurs, walking potatoes, sporks, and even a roll of toilet paper. There really is a toy for every taste and need. That's amazing, and to be completely honest, funny. Bonnie's brother. The presence of Smartpants raises a very suspicious question. Who does this toy belong to? Bonnie was 6 years old in Toy Story 4 and will be around 8 years old in the 5th movie, meaning she definitely already knows how to use the bathroom on her own, unless she has some special difficulty, which isn't wrong, but is unlikely to be the case. There is no reason for Bonnie to have a toy used to teach someone how to use the toilet, and that could mean something incredible, that Bonnie got a little brother. With her being around 8 years old now, it's totally possible that her little brother was born in the time gap between Toy Story 4 and 5. He would probably be between 1 and 2 years old, an age when babies still usually don't know how to use the bathroom on their own. Yep, Smartpants would be the perfect toy for Bonnie's brother. If we think about it this way, it's very possible that the little boy will start playing with his older sister's toys after she becomes addicted to Lilyad, which could be good or bad. Will Bonnie's younger brother take good care of the toys, or will he be a spoiled kid who doesn't treat our beloved characters very well? If you would also love to see Bonnie getting a little brother, leave a comment down below, #brother. Snappy. Another very interesting toy will be Snappy, a camera. Just her name alone is already great, because it sounds like the noise many cameras make when taking a picture. She will have a reputation for being very cute. Now the question is whether that reputation came from the toys or from their owners. And will she actually be cute, or will her true personality be the complete opposite to everyone's surprise? I mean, if that turns out to be true, it would be a huge surprise for everyone, except for those who watch this channel, because we're always trying to figure out what Disney's next moves are. There's also another, much more sinister possibility involving Snappy, precisely because she is a camera. After all, we already know that Lilyad will record the main characters moving in order to blackmail them. Since Snappy is a camera, it's possible that she could do something similar, like secretly helping Lilyad photograph the other toys after they managed to delete the tablet's recording. Or it could be the opposite. She could photograph Lilyad herself moving, threatening to reveal the truth about Lilyad if the recording of the other toys moving is shown to anyone. Basically, if Lilyad exposes the toys, she will also be exposed. Atlas. One of the toys that ended up being revealed was Atlas, a very talkative hippopotamus. There's always room for animal toys because they almost always end up being among the funniest ones. Just look at Rex, who has gone through so many hilarious scenes over the last 4 movies that it's hard to even count. In fact, we should be rooting for Atlas to interact a lot with Rex. Those two give off the impression that they would be amazing to see together. Of course, that will depend a lot on what happens in the movie and, most importantly, on what Atlas's origin will be. Will this talkative guy be a toy that Bonnie got after Toy Story 4? Or does he have a completely different origin? That kind of detail changes everything. New Woody. These character reveals also came with brand new illustrations of old characters like Woody. He will receive a new look at some point during production, in which he will wear a stylish cape that will make him look even more like a real cowboy. But what if we told you that this isn't the Woody we followed throughout all 4 released Toy Story movies, but a new one? The movie will introduce an army of Buzz Lightyears who are definitely not the same Buzz we all love, but rather other toys of the same model as him. That being the case, it's hard to completely rule out the possibility of a new Woody appearing in Toy Story 5. Same appearance, but a different personality. That stylish cape would serve to create a small visual difference, reminding us that this isn't the same character who was the franchise's protagonist. After all, the original Woody left in Toy Story 4, and it didn't seem like he would ever return. His story ended the moment the cowboy became a toy without an owner, and undoing that wouldn't feel right. However, Toy Story is strongly tied to Woody's image, and it would feel strange to make a new movie without him. That's why the emergence of a new version of Andy's old cowboy doll fits perfectly. A new Woody becomes the face of the saga, while the original can live his life in peace. Andy's son. The last time Andy appeared, outside of a flashback, was at the very end of Toy Story 3, when he says goodbye to his toys in a very emotional scene and then gives them to Bonnie before leaving for college. Toy Story 5 will take place a few years after that farewell, so Andy should be older, and many things could have happened in his life, including him becoming a father. It would be amazing if this really happened, because it would mean Andy could appear with a brand new character, his son. He could be very young, even younger than Bonnie's younger brother, if our theory about her brother turns out to be correct. Seeing Andy's old toys reuniting with him and also meeting his baby would be absolutely heartbreaking. Seriously, it would be almost impossible to watch that without crying, or at the very least, shedding a single tear. Subscribing is quick, easy, and keeps you updated with everything happening here. Let's go! Sid's daughter. Following that same logic, it would also be amazing to see how Sid, the rebellious kid from the first Toy Story, is doing nowadays and what his life is like. Could he have also become a father? It would make sense considering he's around the same age as Andy. We like to imagine that his baby would be a little girl, but instead of being sweet, she would have the same chaotic personality as her father, causing absolute chaos with the toys. But we have to remember that Sid was attacked by the toys in the first Toy Story and apparently stopped mistreating them after that because he was traumatized. And what if that trauma kept haunting him into adulthood, to the point where he teaches his daughter not to mistreat toys out of fear of what they might do? Or worse, Sid being traumatized to the point of not buying toys for his daughter at all, and instead giving her a tablet just like Lilyad. It would be hilarious to see him discover that even tablets are alive in this universe. Video game. Thinking about it this way, since Toy Story 5 will focus on technology, it's almost certain that we'll see a video game with a life of its own in the movie. technology. Kids have always loved video games, and today, that love has only grown. So imagine a console similar to a PlayStation 5 or even a Nintendo Switch 2 showing up and having a personality just as evil as Lilypad's. Or would you find it more interesting if it were more good-natured, showing that not all technology has to cause harm?
Before you go, take a look at the 2 videos on the screen. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!